Hello and thank you for joining us today. This is Kevin. Today we will be discussing a very important question that every entrepreneur needs to ask themselves, and that is, what is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why did you decide to go on this entrepreneurial journey? Why are you choosing this road? So let's just jump right in. So, are you doing it because you want to have a lot of money? A lot of people want to become entrepreneurs because they think that it will make them successful, it will make them rich, it will make them wealthy. They see a lot of wealthy entrepreneurs who are millionaires and even billionaires, and so they desire to have some of those things as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, money is definitely a needed commodity, but that cannot be your only source of motivation because there is no guarantee. Again, I say there is no guarantee that you will be rich by being an entrepreneur. It is likely, it is possible, but there is no guarantee. So if it's not money, perhaps then you want to have a beautiful house somewhere on the coast, maybe up in Martha's Vineyard, and you're enjoying the summers there. That's something that I myself would love to do. But if that's your why, again, there is no guarantee that you will have the resources to do that. But again, it is a possibility. Or is your why that you want a nice, fast, beautiful car? That would be probably one of my top whys. If I were honest with myself, I'm definitely a car guy. I love cars. I love fast cars. And so, is that my why perhaps? I want to have a great car. That's one of my sources of motivation. Or better yet, is it to spend more time with your family? I'm a father as well, and that is definitely one of my whys. I chose entrepreneurship so that I could spend more time with my family and have a little bit more flexibility. But again, that is not guaranteed. Often when you start your business, there are long hours and you're spending a lot of time away from your family. So, you have to really analyze and think about it if that's your why as well. And so we're going to jump right into it. Now, here are the 5 questions as it relates to what is your why that you really must answer. The 5 questions, they are who, where, what, when, and why. Who, what, where, when, and why. And so we've all heard these 5 questions before in some form, I'm sure. But as it relates to entrepreneurship and why you're starting your business, we're going to kind of just give you a little more clarity. So the first question that you have to ask yourself before starting your business is, who are you? Again, who are you? Some of you may say, hey, my name is Tom. My name is Jane. I'm from Atlanta. I'm from California. But really, who are you on the inside? What do you stand for? What are your values? What do you think is important? Where are you from? Right? What part of the country? Because sometimes where you're from informs who you are as a person. It helps shape who you are from a person. There may be some aspect of where you're from. If you're from, let's say, maybe a rural community like myself, or if you're from a maybe perhaps disadvantaged or poor community, that may have given you some of the drive and ambition that you want to have to become an entrepreneur. What's your story, right? Where are you from? What do you stand for? What's your story? How did you get to this place, this point in your life where you wanted to start a business? What things are important to you? What things do you value in your life? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? What are your deal breakers? Right? And so all of these things are things that we have to really ask ourselves before starting a business. What types of things do you like? Do you like interacting with people? Do you like working long hours? Do you like working hard? What are deal breakers for you as it relates to entrepreneurship? I can share for me, anything that involves something illegal is a deal breaker. Like, I will not do something that involves an illegal business deal. Also, a deal breaker for me is something that is going to pull me away from my family for an extended period of time. That's a new deal breaker, something that has just come about in the last couple of years. So, what are your deal breakers? You really have to ask yourself all of these questions and really determine who you are. And once you determine who you are, the next question is, what do you want to do? Right? As it relates to business, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to bring to market? What is your product or service? And that has to be clearly defined. A lot of people say, hey, I want to become an entrepreneur and I want to start, let's say, a barbershop, or I want to start a yoga studio, right? There are several types of barber and beauty salons. There are several types of yoga studios. What's your market? What's your demographic? Who are you targeting? What are you going to offer? You have to be really clear about what it is that you want to do in the world of entrepreneurship. You have to understand and you have to know, what problem does your product or service solve? Again, every business must solve a product. Every business must solve a problem. Every product or service must solve a problem. If it does not solve a problem, then it's just a hobby. So you may think, well, what problem does a beauty salon offer, as I mentioned in my early example, or what problem does a yoga studio solve, or what problem does a bakery solve? But again, those things. In an example of the yoga studio, it solves the problem of people who want to be more physically fit. And the bakery, it solves the problem of people who want to buy baked goods, who want to buy cakes and pies for parties and things like that. And so no matter what your business is, there is a way that you can determine what problem it solves, and it has to solve a problem. Next, what type of impact do you want to make? Again, what type of impact do you want to make with your business? Will it make money, and is it sustainable? What you do has to make money. The key fundamental principle of entrepreneurship is that you have to make money. If you do not make money, you will not be in business very long. And it has to be sustainable, meaning that it has to be something that can sustain not only the business, but at some point you want it to be able to sustain you and your lifestyle, because that's the reason that you went into business, so that you can have a better lifestyle and better quality of life. Next, when do you want to start? Who, what, when? When do you want to start? As they say, timing is everything, and I'm a firm believer in that. So you have to time when you want to start your business. A good idea that is released too soon is not successful, right? A bad idea, let's say a slightly less than great idea that's released at the exact time when the market is ready for it, has the potential to do well, right? Timing is everything, and you have to time your business. You also have to determine when is the right time for you personally. What about your personal family commitments, right? Are there things that are going on in your life right now that may make it difficult for you to start a business at this particular time? Is there something happening with the economy that is making it difficult for you at this particular time? Have you looked at your finances? Are your finances such that you're able to start a business right now? Or do you need to wait? Do you have the right relationships to start your business right now? Right? Is now the right time, or should you wait? And so when you kind of start to think about when you want to start your business, you really have to ask yourself, are all of these things in line, right? Have I decided if it's the right time for me? Have I looked at my personal and family commitments? Have I looked at my finances? Have I looked at my relationships? And if you've looked at all those things and you've decided that now is the right time, then great. And you have to answer one more question. Where do you want your business to be? Location, location, location is everything. Where do you want your business to be? Now, this is a very interesting question today in particular, because now, much different than any other time in the past, you have several options as to where your business is located. You can have a physical, traditional brick and mortar business, as they say, which is the corner store, the corner restaurant or corner building. You could have a storefront. You could have a warehouse. You could have an online business. You could have a virtual business. You could have a business that delivers your product or service. So there are a lot of different options today on where your business can be located, and you have to think about that, and you have to balance that again with your resources, with your financial ability, with your personal and family commitments, and you have to find the exact type of location and business model that is going to be successful for you as a business owner. Do you want to have a local, national, or international reach? Again, with the internet, you have the ability to reach customers all across the world by a few clicks of a keyboard, a few touches of the buttons. You can reach people all over the world. So is that a market that you want to reach out to? How much money do you have to invest? Again, very key in determining your location is how much money do you have to invest? Do you have the money to create a brick and mortar or a physical location? Do you have those types of resources? Right? If you don't, then again, maybe a virtual location may be something for you. Do you like interacting with people? Again, if you do not like interacting with people and that is one of your dislikes, then having a physical location where people are going to come in and have to interact with you every day may not be something that you want to do. But again, that leans to a virtual location. And if you can kind of hear it in my voice, I am a very big fan of virtual businesses, online businesses, internet-based businesses. And I'm a fan because they offer a very low barrier to entry, and they are also very cost effective, particularly for startups. And so there's almost no business out there that cannot be started initially as a virtual business. So definitely look closely at that opportunity, at that possibility when you're trying to determine where you want your business to be. And then last but definitely not least, you have to ask yourself, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? This is the most important question. What is the biggest thing that is motivating you to start your business? What's your pain point? I call it a pain point. It may not be a physical pain point, but there is something that has occurred in your life or something that is continuously happening in your life that has made you say, hey, I want to now take this leap into entrepreneurship. Maybe you were laid off from a job. Maybe you've retired. Maybe you've worked the same job for several years and you don't like the way that you're being treated at that job. You don't feel that your services are being valued. Maybe you've seen something on TV and you want to make an impact in a community by providing a specific product or service, right? But you have to know what your why is, and your why has to be based on more than money. In the first slide, I showed you several $100 bills, and a lot of people start businesses because of that. Quite honestly, they want to make more money, and there's nothing wrong with that, nothing at all. But money cannot be your only source of motivation. Money is a tool. Money is a tool, just like any other tool. It can be used to do great things, and it can also be used to do not so great things. And so you have to determine why you're doing this, because when things get tough, your why will help you get through. When you do not have money, if your business isn't making money, your why still has to be strong enough to allow you to continue to operate your business and push through so that you can be successful. And so, after you answer these 5 questions, who are you? What do you want to do? When do you want to start? Where do you want your business to be? And why are you doing this? You'll be much better prepared to create and to craft a great narrative about yourself. And that will also help you a lot as you begin to start doing your branding and your marketing as well. But definitely take a look at the worksheets that are attached to this lesson. Go through them all, answer all of the questions, and make sure you really determine and you really give some deep thought to these 5 questions. Your answers may change over the next few weeks, but continue to ask yourself these questions and continue to probe yourself so that you really know what is your why. Thank you so much for your time. We look forward to sharing with you more lessons, and have a great day. Take care.